Hi, so before I start my 20 time project, I just want to take some time to ask you guys a question to think about during my whole presentation. How can you create the most positive impact on as many lives as possible? So my 20 time project was inspired by a man named Adam Braun. I watched a TED Talk video about him, and he is the founder of an organization called Pencils of Promise, which builds schools in developing countries like Guatemala. It trains teachers and it funds scholarships. And he actually asked himself the same question that I asked you guys to think about. And he decided that his purpose in life was to dedicate his time in helping children like her get an education. So as he traveled around the world to developing countries, he went up to poor young children and asked them one question: what do you want most in the world? And what I find really interesting was that the most common response was that all they wanted was a pencil. And they could have asked for food, they could have asked for shelter, but they just asked for one simple thing: a pencil. So I encourage you guys to watch this TED Talk video. It's really inspiring. So this inspired me to do my 20 time project about raising awareness and raising money for Pencils of Promise. So I started off my project by making a page on a website called Crowdrise, where basically you can donate money straight to the organization of choice. So in this case, I did it towards Pencils of Promise. And my title is Help Children Have a Better Future. And I write like a story of why I'm doing this and the importance. And then I give like regular updates if I find something interesting. And my goal at the beginning of this 20 time was to raise $200, but I ended up raising only $40, and to be honest, it was for my friends and family. But I feel like with more time, I definitely could have done more with this project. So I'm going to continue this over the summer and next year to see if more people can see this. And this is just a screenshot of my story. And I also wanted to give something back to the people who donated. So I spent some time making these pencil charms. They're out of rubber bands. And I gave these back to the people who donated to my site. This was a major step back in challenge because it took a lot of time to make them. I ended up watching a lot of YouTube tutorials and I messed up quite a few times. But in the end, I did get it. But it just took way longer than expected. So this is just Pencils of Promise progress throughout the years, which I found really interesting because the organization was started in 2009, and then throughout the years it's like dramatically increased, and it only goes up to 2013, but I believe now in 2016 the total numbers of schools is above 300, which is really cool to see like the progress. And now I'm going to give some statistics that I thought were interesting to this cause. So this is from the Humanium, which is an international child sponsorship program. It says more than 72 million children of primary education age are not in school. And then this is from Compassion International, which is Africa as a whole continent has less than a 60% literacy rate. And 1 in 5 people in the world are illiterate, 2/3 being women. So I learned a lot throughout this whole project. I learned that it takes a lot of time to start an organization and get people to notice it. I also learned that how lucky I am to live in a nice environment and have access to a nice education because other people don't even have access to it. And I know a lot of us take school for granted, but other people don't even have an education. So now I know that like I should be grateful. And it's really nice to know that people like Adam Braun spend their whole lives dedicated to this one cause to try to change the world. Thank you.